The other one. The other one. The other one.
I call this regular town council meeting to order. Madam Clerk, may I please have a roll call?
You may. Counselor Danforth. Here. Counselor Dume.
Here.
Counselor Higgins.
Here.
Counselor Mackin. Here. Chair Medor.
Here.
Counselor McLaughlin. Here. And Counselor Pelletier.
Here. Would you please all stand and remove your hats and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Manager, adjustments to where Mr. Manager went to. He's gone now. We will wait for him to light.
And it's kind of. They both.
Be proactive in stepping up and being that next generation to be a leader and at least to learn the process, whether you'd like to continue it or not. But I think it's commendable that that you would want to do that. So I encourage you to follow that dream of yours and I would do anything in my authority to help make that a reality for you. Once again, welcome. I hope you enjoy the process. Thank you.
Council Pelletier.
Totally agree with Councilor Kume's word and commend for stepping up. Great to see. And for the manager, a comment, don't abuse the intern.
Council Higgins.
I just want to abuse anyone. Yes, thank you and welcome. It's very refreshing to see someone wants to take this on and then get involved with it. But I think it's going to be really good to have a representative of the use of this time. Be able to have some input.
Councilor McGowan.
I just want to say, I think it's a great idea. I know Andrew very well from school. He's an excellent student involved in a lot of things. My son Tanner was actually a school board representative when he was in school, and that was a good experience for him. So I commend you for taking the initiative to do this, and I welcome you aboard. I think it's great, Andrew.
Yeah. Councilor Danforth.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I too welcome you. I'm really excited about this opportunity that you're making happen. You know, like manager said, it hasn't been done before. So this is really great. Figure it out as you go. And create your own, you know, footprints here and welcome. It's going to be an exciting partnership, I think. Thank you.
You all set, Councilor Mackin?
Just like to say congratulations. I'm excited to hear the student part of the town, the feeling that we're getting from them, and congratulations.
I look forward to having you here. It would be nice to have a different perspective. Sometimes we get so caught up in the day-to-day operations of the community that we kind of lose sight of some of the other things that necessarily going on or of differing opinions. So I look forward to your point of view. I encourage you, if you come to council meetings, to be involved, to voice an opinion, to, give information out and to learn. I think it's great, and I look forward to having you. Welcome aboard.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
one more thing, as far as feedback for the town manager, I say the sooner the better, as far as when it starts.
Great.
Mr. Manager, I would say that in this case, much like with the school, is the student representative for the school board is not a voting member, right? Because they can't be by charter. They can't be. So Andrew, you will be here. You can voice your opinions and things, but when it comes to voting, you will not be a voting member of the council. But we look forward to, like I say, you expressing your opinions and things and taking that into consideration. And I would look for that position that way. I don't see anything that has to be done or tweaked or anything with the charter or anything else to have this type of situation. And I would like to have him start sooner than later. Councilor DeMay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to suggest that the town manager just devise a simple policy that will bring it to an order to kind of make it official. Doesn't need to be an alteration of the charter or anything. Just design a policy. It's what you do. And sure that we'll go along with it as long as it's appropriate.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yep.
Andrew, is there anything you want to share in recognition of all of this here?
Thank you for having me here, first of all, the opportunity provided by school and from all here. Very greatly appreciated. And my interest for the school facility or school building. It really does mean a lot to me. If you have any questions about me, what I stand for, what I have in mind to ask them, really excited to be part of the team here, be able to help out in any way that I.
Oh, he's good.
That's great.
He's come already to bear. He's good.
I'll go ahead and share his email and stuff with you all,
Okay.
so you can, chat amongst yourselves if you'd like.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew, very much. You all set? No, with the
I
manager?
think that's it from me, unless there's specific questions on ongoing things that you'd like.
Does
updates
anybody
on.
have any questions or asking for updates from the manager moving forward? I'm not seeing anything, so I think we're good.
All right, stay tuned for the FY 23 audit review presentation
Mhm.
coming up July 25th.
Right, the next council meeting, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
All righty, thank you.
All.
All right. Since Councilor Mack and I are on the warrant committee, I will read order 164-2024, providing for execution of the prior year town warrant for July 11th, 2024. It is ordered the prior year town warrant for July 11th, 2024 in the amount of $83,857.80 is hereby approved.
Second.
Motion made by Chair Madore, second by Councilor Dume. Any council questions on the warrant? We have a couple of big ones here. Acadia Design, that is for work to be done on and doing on the community center project. That's $5,430. $3,163.38. Dead River, that is diesel fuel. $19,189.68 to Elan Financial Group Service. That is the credit card. We go down to $16,265.85 to Municipal Waste Solutions. That is for our solid waste. We have $3,506.51. The Radio Communications Management, Inc. That is radio for the ambulance. $8,200 for RHR Smith and Company. That is for the audit work. $8,989.60 to CV Mahar Engineers for brownfield assessment. $3,898.80 going to Stearns Lumber Company Incorporated, that is building supplies. And $1,567.99 to Michael, and I believe it is Solinsky, and that is for pool supplies. Any council comment on the order from the public? Back to the council. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Councilor Mackin, can I please have you read order 165-2024?
Order 165-2024, providing for execution of the prior year wastewater warrant for July 11th, 2024. It is ordered that the prior year wastewater warrant for July 11th, 2024 in the amount of $2,323.40 is hereby approved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Mackin, second by Councilor Dume. I see there are no big hitters on this one. Looks, everything looked good. Any council comment on the order? Down to the public. Back to the council. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Order 166-2024, providing for execution of the town warrant for July 11th, 2024. It is ordered the town warrant for July 11th, 2024 in the amount of $68,444 is hereby approved.
Second.
Motion made by Chair Madore, second by Councilor McLaughlin. Big hitters on this one, $6,000 to iWork Systems Incorporated, that for unpaid invoices. $6,000 going to Katahdin Area Television Incorporated, that is a pass-through. $4,814.73, the Maine Municipal Association, that is for our unemployment payment. $3,173.69, that goes to the Maine Technology Group, that is for tech service. $41,128.53 goes to Maine Water Company for those darn hydrants rentals, and $3,850.72 to Solinsky Michael J. for pool supplies. Any comment on the order? Any questions from the public? Back to the council. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Councilor Mackin, can I please get you to read order 167-2024?
Order 167-2024, providing for execution of the wastewater warrant for July 11th, 2024. It is ordered that the wastewater warrant for July 11th, 2024 is in the amount of $1,065.75 is hereby issued.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Mackin, second by Councilor McGlaughlin. Any council discussion on the order? Being none on the public. Back to the council. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Councilor McGlaughlin, can I please get you to read order 168-2024?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Order number 168-2024, providing for award of window replacement project bid. Whereas the town of Millinocket received $100,000 in grant funding from the Community Resilience Partnership Energy Efficiency Priorities Fund for the replacement of windows in the Millinocket Municipal Building. And whereas this project received one bid attached from Renewal by Anderson for the replacement of 39 Fibrix high performance low E4 windows at a cost of $117,435. It is ordered that the Millinocket Town Council, at the recommendation of the town manager and community initiatives director, award this project to Renewal by Anderson. It is further ordered that the additional $17,435 needed to complete this project will be allocated from the unassigned fund balance. Note, this bid includes discounts totaling $41,862 off the original project estimate from Renewal by Anderson.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor McGlaughlin, second by Councilor Higgins. Any council discussion on the order?
Yes.
Who yield to Councilor Higgins? Councilor Higgins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to, let's see if we can, at 17,435, we can make that up in the heating bill. With the new windows.
Mm-hmm.
We hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, heating bill and the heat pumps running since, that installation rather than the big, furnace and all that in the winter, so. Yeah, I mean, we're still in the beta phase of figuring out the numbers there, but that's the idea.
Councilor Dumaine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I been in communication with Chris McDonald, the agent that's proposing this. And he's actually having a hard time getting on to the Zoom and the live feed. So he kind of sent a message, but I think I'm gonna just speak to, he made a couple of points that there's 20-year insurance on these, 20 years. So that's quite important to be able to provide that kind of service, and anything that costs a lot, there's a reason for the big price tag to it. So that's important, is that 20-year insurance on it. Also, he mentioned that if anybody else installs these Anderson windows, then that does not get added onto the insurance. Those are not insured, the installation of them. So it's important that this company does the installation of those. So just wanted to make that noted, and he stressed that. So I'm in favor of this, and I'll just leave it there.
Good. Councilor Danforth.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. I'll just, recognition to the fact that we have $100,000 in grant funds to pay for this, and the town is, paying 10-11% of the total cost. I think great deal for us. Appreciate the work behind the scenes to get the grant. Going to benefit the municipal building. Thank you.
I would like to go ahead and just say that I really appreciate the work that has been done by the community initiative director for finding these grants and things to be able to help out with this. This is pretty big stuff, and our community initiative director is now, I believe, somewhere in grants that she has been able to bring in or be part of about 1.8 million to the municipality.
Yeah, I think it's a little closer to 2 million, but yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So I think a little bit of recognition to her efforts and everything else as well on this is muchly appreciated. Anyone else from the council? I see Mrs. Sullivan, you have your hand up.
Yes, I have actually two questions. You specified 39 windows. Is that all of the windows in the building?
My understanding, Mr. Manager, is that's everything but the windows that were damaged by the fire.
That's correct. The windows that were damaged on the bank side of the building are being replaced through the insurance claim. So the 39 are all of the rest.
Okay, and the other question I have involves not only this order, but the next order. Also, the balance is being paid from the fund balance. Can you tell me what is left in that fund balance after these two?
Ballpark figure?
Ballpark figure. Close to 4 million, I think. So quite a bit heavier than our goal at the moment. We'll learn a little bit more about that next week, but we recently found out that it was a little higher than our estimate during budget season, so it's between, 3.6 and 4 somewhere.
Okay, and so now are we starting on a whole new year's budget where we're taking from fund balances? Because it seems as though lately a lot of the things are coming out of the fund balance, and that concerns me.
There was a pretty heavy use of that in the past year, and the year prior. But we're nowhere near a concerning balance, and these are very small transactions in the greater amount.
Okay.
We also far less in the actual budget this year than we had in previous years as well. So, we're being a lot more strategic and conservative on that fund currently.
Okay, no, I agree that, the community initiative director has done a great job in getting the grant. But then when we keep adding on a little bit here, that just concerns me. Thank you for the explanation.
Thank you, Ms. Sullivan. Anyone else from the public? Yes. Name and address, please.
Fine. I'm assuming that the windows on.
Name and
the
address,
banks-
please.
Oh, excuse, Bruce Levitt, 72.
Thank you very much.
Unlock it, and 04. But I'm assuming those windows on the bank side are also in line. What the Anderson.
They actually are. They're a different model because but they're in the hallway downstairs. So you walk by them on the way up.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else from the public? Back to the council. Alrighty then, all those in favor of order number 168-2024? It's unanimous. Thank you. Councilor Pelletier, can I please get you to read order 169-2024?
Certainly. Order 169-2024, providing for purchase of replacement pump for town pool. Whereas there is a need to replace a pump at the town pool that is nearing the end of its operational life, and whereas the recreational director has researched the matter and presented the attached quote from Mike's Pool Service, it is ordered that the Millinocket Town Council, at the recommendation of the recreation director and town manager, approves the purchase of this pump for $13,059.99 with funds allocated from the unassigned fund balance.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Pelletier, second in harmony by Councilors Higgins and McGowan. Any discussion on the order? Counselor Dume.
I'm just in favor of this sooner rather than later. This is super important to, the functionality of the town pool, which is a tremendous asset to the children and the families of the community. So I hope this is supported. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the council?
Yes.
Yes. No,
Thank you.
Counselor Higgins. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to say, just as my Dr. Dume said, it's an asset for the town, but the most important thing is something that the kids here in this town need and use all the time. So it should be supported.
Thank you. Anyone else? Down to the public. Seeing none, back to the council. All those in favor of Order 169? Oh, do we have something?
Weren't they?
Okay, everybody was ready to vote there for a second. Boy, the hands were going up fast. All those in favor of Order 169-2024? It's unanimous. Boys. Boys, oh boys. Don't even have to do the opposed anymore. All right, Councilor Dume, can I please have you read Order 170-2024?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Order number 170-2024, providing for the appointment of code enforcement officer, licensed plumbing inspector. It is ordered that Thomas Malcolm is appointed to serve as code enforcement officer, licensed plumbing inspector for 1-year term to expire July 31st, 2025.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Dume, second by Councilor Higgins. Any council discussion on the order?
Whatever happened, Mr. Chairman, to Tom retiring?
That is something you need to take up with Tom. It just, Tom retiring is, as you all well know, the building was built around Tom. He was here first, but yeah, he has been an asset to the community for a long time and certainly has given more than his fair share to the town of Millinocket and appreciate it. And if he wants to go ahead and take on the ordeal of permitting and everything as the code enforcement officer and plumbing inspector, I think that's great. Mr. Manager?
So Tom's been our code enforcement officer in a temporary arrangement since March, Tom. He's really kind of jumped in and taken on a lot of big stuff already. The reason this came about kind of quickly today is he just received his official certification for licensed plumbing inspector. So congratulate him on the, that's a class. And he's continuing with the certification for code enforcement. I think the law is within the first year, is that that license or certification needs to be obtained. So where it was temporary before, we hadn't gone through with this procedure. But now that we're in the new fiscal year, using the new budget and with the new certification, we'd really like to make it official. And he really is a huge asset in the office. There was some concern about part-time versus full-time previously. And I think if Tom ever does retire, we should go with the full-time one, but it's cool about having Tom is you get just about a full-time
Anyway.
code enforcement officer for a part-time value. We can't get him to leave.
All right, anybody? Yes, Council Pelletier.
So that's continuing a part-time position.
Yes. So
Any
he's a 24-hour code enforcement officer, LPI. And he still holds our appointed title as public health and safety officer.
That more hour.
Nope, it's just a stipend thing.
Anybody else from the council? Going down to the public? On order 170-2024? Seeing none, back to the council. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Certainly. Thank you. No, that's fine, Madam Clerk. Go right ahead. Oh, it's time for me to move out of the shot.
You want to bring your right hand and repeat after me? With a smile on your face. I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution and obey the laws of the United States and of the state of Maine. And I will in all respects observe the provisions of the charter and ordinances of the town of Illinois. And will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of LPI and O.
Well, there. I don't know if congratulations are in order, Tom, but thank you for doing it.
Yeah, it's not, that's the beauty of it all. He actually doesn't need to shave now. Got this stylish new cut and everything. That's great.
All right, reports and communications. The warrant committee for the July 25th, 2024 council meeting will be Councilor McLaughlin and Councilor Pelletier. All set? Okay. Do we have any committee reports? Councilor Danforth.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we did have an age-friendly Millinocket committee meeting this week. We took a field trip actually over to Eastern Area Agency on Aging Community Cafe, over located in Stearns Assisted Building. And so that was great for community members who had never been there, learn more about all the programs that Eastern Area provides. Clearly, we need to do more education and let the community know about resources. There's a lot of resources that are unused, untapped, and so we'll help them get that information out. We did decide that there's no August meeting. We'll take that little summer break off, resume in September. And just want to remind people of the farmers and artisan market that's happening now every Saturday from 9 to 2 down in Veterans Park. Let's hope there's sun.
Did I also see that they received a grant?
So, yes, 5, and I can't remember.
See, I do read my emails.
Yeah. So we received through help again, through Amber Community Initiatives Director applied for $500 grant. So we'll be getting some pop-up tents, some canopies, so specific to the farmers market to put down there in case of rain, and perhaps if we have to block the sun, right? If it's too sunny. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so we're getting more things to be able to support that effort too, in hopes that it will grow. So, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none?
Question,
Oh,
Mr. Chair,
yes, sir.
any updates on the short-term rental?
I is still in the hands of, I got 2 copies back that I forwarded to people on the committee from the attorney, with the for final approval and then come to council hopefully for a vote.
And then one other is on the charter review.
That's the man right there. Council Pelletier.
Updates.
Be nice.
I believe you're on the committee.
But as far as, so everyone else,
So,
because it has been.
well, we've been in contact with Counselor Gilbane and it's trying to get a meeting before he gives draft cop, well, be in order for handling a good portion of the changes to the housekeeping ones that can be done by council action. But involve 2 public readings. And then a referendum question on the items that are significant. So, and I'm in hopes to have a meeting just prior to that 25th meeting at the end of the month, but it all depends on him being timely. Doesn't sound good, the short-term rental issue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No joke, man, no joke.
Just
No
Just
joke, no.
just to let everyone know too, the town, tree canopy project that has gone round and round. Just to give a quick history of that, under previous administration, we applied and received a grant for $5,900 to get trees to plant in our parks. Base down here at Heritage Park, in Veterans Memorial Park, and around the Veterans Monument. And we got the trees, they were planted, and unfortunately, the first round of trees were diseased and all had to be pulled up and destroyed. So fortunately for us, the company that we purchased the trees from came good for the money. We got it back. We are now dealing with Richardson's in Patton. And because of the growing season and the best opportunity to optimize the growth of the new trees, because we ordered late this year, when we finally got everything cleared and got the permission to order, we got the order in. Richardson's has decided to agree to lock in the 2024 price for 2025. And we will get the trees. They will be delivered to the town of Millinocket, and our arborist, local arborist, Kevin Ingersoll, will plant the trees for us this time. And they'll be planted early in the spring for optimum chance for survival. We have 20 trees that are coming. Crabapple trees, maple trees, some color trees that have color to them to add to our Veterans Memorial Park, to Heritage, and of course around the Veterans Monument. And so hopefully, knock on wood, everything going right, and we've got everything in order. Those trees will come in and be planted first thing in the spring. There. All right. Now it brings us to the part that everybody's been waiting for along the back row, the 2-minute public comment. I would remind everybody to relax. I will remind everybody that the 2-minute public comment is just that. You have 2 minutes to address the council. Please address the council as a whole and not individual councilors. If you have any questions, they probably, will be answered at the next council meeting. Answers will be provided for you. But certainly, go ahead if you have a statement or whatever you like to make. So certainly, name and address, please.
So 330 Columbus Street. I just have a question on the internship. It's great that the youngs are gonna get involved in that, gonna shadow town manager. My concern is when they're in the building and they're shadowing him, is he gonna be insured if something happens? Is it just that you don't need insurance and goes down, like I said, following the manager and accident falls? Is he gonna be insured by that? So that's the only concern I have with the internship, how it's going.
And if you wouldn't mind, Mr. Manager.
No, I don't mind at all. Yeah, so it's set up through the school as a class. So yes, he would be covered under the, liability insurance and all that.
I know there's probably no afraid of him getting up over the seat,
Yeah, you never know. But yes, I mean, he would be covered as if he were in the school.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak? Certainly. Name and address, please. Yeah, it's on. It's on. Oh, yeah, no, it was on.
No, it's on.
That means go.
What's the other one?
Jimmy Biss, 32 Forest Avenue. I'm just gonna read the letter. I know you've gotten it, been Feather Club. I was asked,
Sorry.
read it on behalf of the club. The club president couldn't be here tonight. This letter is concerning the last meeting monument issue.
And I believe everyone, excuse me, Jim, just saying, I believe everybody on the council got it within their packet that has a copy of the letter. Thank you, Jim.
I'll read it. Is that okay?
Mhm. Sure.
This letter to the council is in support of the 4 town councilors that voted not to support a letter to the powers that be in DC. Fin and Feather Club of Maine is a sportsman club that has for 60+ years fought for issues that have been detrimental to our Maine heritage. Those issues in the past, as they are today, are a threat to the way of life that dates back to before colonial times, which is access to the woods and waters of Maine. The access road that the letter in question was in support of could in the future be heavily regulated by out-of-state entities that we have no control over. Currently, the road is privately owned with little restrictions on its use, but the owners in the past have always had an office in the area. So negotiating that access was at the local level and not for the most part, easy. What will that look like in the future with a road in the hands of the federal government? We need to look no further than the Saddleback Mountain Ski Resort, where an excerpt from the New England Ski Journal. In the 1980s was a period of steady growth for Saddleback. During the 1990s, the owner was Mr. Green. Plans for a dramatic expansion, including accessing the bowl in the back of the mountain, were stemmed by protracted dispute with conservation advocates and the National Park Service over the Appalachian Trail corridor, which runs along the ridge atop the ski area. Green eventually settled the dispute with the National Park Service in 2000, but had lost his enthusiasm for running the Saddleback. In the fall of 2003, the owner sold out because of the constant pressure and dragging it out. So I say, is this what we want for the Katahdin region in the future for our young people? I know a lot of traditions as they relate to sportsmen and women are on the decline, but this may not be forever. And won't look the same if we do nothing. Let's not let the government and out-of-state money run the show. I posted my thoughts recently on Facebook site, Friends of Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument, as it relates to the new contact center. The new center up there, the new contact center. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What I see is a $30 million excess to encourage people to come to a place that they otherwise wouldn't. A place that the natives rarely set foot on other than to hunt for food while passing through. This is a place that for hundreds of years needed no protection from development. Now that it is protected, it's being developed. Speak today, development up there. Does anyone else see the irony in this? This is a place where man or beast could scrap in the woods.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And not be noticed. Now we have handicap freebies. We have steel boxes everywhere. We have to lock up your food, signs, everywhere a sign. It's all good though, because we are going to make some money. All of us signs everywhere, while taking away the natural beauty that once was. This is just my opinion from someone who did not use the area for what it was, wilderness. I did not need any signs, bare boxes, contact center, just a map, compass, and 2 feet, and the good Lord gave me. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people are against this. But I suggest, I see the beauty of the forest for what it is, a forest. I want to thank the 4 councilors for voting no on the letter. You are our heroes. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Back to the council. Council Pelletier, do you have anything?
Yes, I took the liberty to evaluate the emails that we all received. And town business. 3 were 18 were unorganized resident, good resident, and the again, for the vote, there was 5, maybe 6. So 5 of them, one from the Fitted Feather Club, which was read and kind of take exception to the steel crappers that may be accessible to me. But other than that, David Marshall, our commissioner, North County Commissioner, provided us with a Senator Harold Stewart information. And that's Cook of the Trust for Public Lands also sent in a letter. And Town of Patton, executive summary regarding additional costs so far being incurred by the community that is not being covered by grants or, yeah, I mean, we have a good grant writer, so I think we'd do better than they're. We'll see. The Honorable Deb Harlan, or John Stewart, Maine Timberlands, and in communication as well. And what I take from those is that quite evident that land acquisition is part of this whole access bill. Given that, you know, which is gonna happen, the cart or the horse first? If they don't get an easement or fees for the road, they'll turn around and and this is admitted that some owners are considering selling North Main, but these owners are private owners. They can sell, and when they sell their land, they'll be selling a chunk of that road. They'll get to a point where they'll own enough to get the they need on the rest. So it does seem inevitable to me. And as we have so much more response for reconsideration, I'd like to give a resource for them to do so. The Charter, Article 9, initiate by referendum, Chapter 901 is petition to overrule action by referendum, which be a citizen-led petition to have it changed, and a little bit cumbersome. But C902, submission by council of proposition changed by popular vote. So how that one works, petition council have an order drafted, have a question, a referendum question on the upcoming election, so that the whole town can vote on it. And then that the result. But at least you're not, for sure you're going ahead majority of town, not maybe the smallest segment. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Higgins.
Yes, thank you, Council Pelletier, for going through those emails and letters that we received. I also want to bring it to the attention that there were many other ways that we were contacted. Some in person, social media, emails from her individually, phone calls, the whole 9 yards. So there were many there as well. Some were saying how much they disapproved of our vote, but there was many there too that were thanking us for our vote. I also did receive some contact by people and residents of this town that, due to their employment, did not want their names said out loud, which I can totally respect that. So, and those were in support of the vote that we did have. So I just wanted that brought to the attention as well.
Very good.
Yes,
I'm gonna. It's still basically back, I brought it back to the council time, but I think there was enough communication that all the councilors received, either pro or con, going forward, also calls and situations and coming in personal meetings and things like that to people to address both sides of the issue. And I think all the councilors had a fairly equal opportunity to weigh and consider the thoughts of everybody going forward and voted their conscience at the time. And I think that's really what matters on this vote. Whether you agree with the vote or you don't agree with the vote, and there certainly are a lot of people on both sides. This seems to be a very divisive idea. But I think we all had the opportunity to weigh everything that was out there that was brought before us, before our votes were taken, and then afterwards, either, in consideration. So I will leave it at that. Anyone else? Before we, if there isn't, before we go, I would just like to recognize our county commissioner, David Marshall, and thank him very much for being here.
Oh,
All right.
I hadn't anticipated being here. You've received some of the letters I sent forwarded to you. This came to my attention when I got a call. I represent Dave Marshall, County Commissioner, representing the 40,000 citizens of Northern Penobscot County, including all the citizens of Lenape, Patton, Stacyville, 881 citizens of Patton, 130 in Stacyville, Millinocket, East Millinocket, and all of the wonderful communities up here in North. I got a call from the town manager. They had a problem. It was related to the park. And it was the roadways that the park itself, all the roads within the park are dirt parks. They are maintained by the monument, rather, the national monument. And these roads outside park entrance, those are roads maintained by the town of Patton. Just as you maintain the roads here in the town of Millinocket, they maintain their roads. Those roads are paved. The amount of traffic that has increased with the use of the park, and they've had a tremendous amount of people coming into the park. And first of all, let me state that I have supported increasing those signage that you were referring to. Those are for our tourists, so they don't get lost coming up in here and know where to go and what to see. But what happened is important. Pat has a $23 million deficit right now on their roads. An impact of the park has caused $23 million in damage to their roads. They had approached the park and asked for assistance because these roads that are 10 feet wide, each lane is 10 feet wide, just like ours. They accommodate local traffic, residents, school buses, they accommodate the Amish carts. So they're not meant as highway. They're regular municipal roads, paved municipal road. And you above everybody else knows what it costs to maintain paved roads here in the town of Millinocket. Well, these roads have been deteriorating quickly. The amount of traffic that was never anticipated. So they approached the Park Service, they approached the National Monument for assistance in that. And the National Monument declined, saying they didn't have the resources or the authority to do that. Well, I happened to meet the superintendent at a meeting in Mattagam, and I brought this to his attention. I said, this $23 million, because they came to me as a commissioner, can you help us with this? I said, no, state law. That there's a $23 million problem in Patton, ground zero of the monument. And they have 881 people. The cost of that is to each citizen is $30,000 to repair those roads. There are 4 roads, it's 10 miles. I I talked to the Department of Public Works there this afternoon. He said that the potholes, they can't keep up with them. They are, it's gonna be worse before it gets better. I talked also to Senator Angus King's office today. I want to get clarification on why this $23 million request to the Senate for supplemental funding to assist in a problem that was created by the park. And at right now, and speaking with them, their indication was, well, the 23 million was 100% of the cost, and it was in excess of what they could afford. We are looking at trying to find resolutions to that. Both Senator King's office and Senator Collins's office are both looking to do that. But that $23 million cost is an unintended consequence of the park. Well, I've since talked to the manager, the town manager, businessmen up there. What the kind of developments has the park creation? 8 years has been, how has it impacted? Well, the consensus was from the town manager that they have not seen any great economic benefit from the park. The people who go in there in the daytime for the day visitors, they go in, they go the Loop Road, they take a hike, enjoy the sights, because the view, the big draw there is just that, the view of the mountain. We have the mountain here in our, they have a view of the mountain up there. So they come in, they come out, and then she said from there, they just go. They don't stop, they don't deposit money. So I asked one of the businessmen, from Hannaford, you all know him, John Ellis, and I asked him, what has been have you seen an increase in business? He said he has not seen a necessarily increase in business. He's seen an increase in foot traffic, but not necessarily translating business. So in effect, there's been no capital investment or improvement in Patton since that park.
Mr. Commissioner, this part is the
Oh, we're getting
two-minute
to the
comment.
two-minute thing?
Yeah, and we're getting a little.
Well, in conclusion.
Thank you.
In
I love that part.
conclusion, there are a lot of things that this bill has not taken into account. Going to affect you is going to be the cost of providing IMS services, fire and what, if that road is currently, by the way, already open. I don't know the degree of, we've seen no test, no information on that. So I'll just say that there's a lot of questions out there, and those questions need to be addressed. We need to put this on hold until those questions are completely investigated and the questions of local citizens are answered to their satisfaction. And I will end with that.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Richard Terrio, 484 Poplar Street. Currently former counselor, currently for the last 10 years, real estate broker. Spent a fair amount of time in the North Bay woods, a lot of time. I was up to functions in this area on real estate related business. And I want to wholeheartedly support the council's prior vote on this issue. It was the right vote. There are other members of the community that I think are also well thinkers, but we see the problem, the unintended consequences of allowing the federal government to dictate what happens.
Thank you. Yes.
Bruce Levitt, 72 Rusk Avenue. You know most of my comments already, so I won't belabor. But concerning Councilor Pelletier, information on the charter, if I'm correct, that on that issue, they may have 10 days from that issue. Give the amount of signatures needed. I'm not sure what percentage of last vote. I believe it was 10 days from that vote 2 weeks ago. I may be correct, I may be incorrect. And one thing that's important
I would have to
me
get it, yes.
that you're losing sight, and I've said it in the paper, that this becomes federal land. That is federal land up there. We have very little say. And if it becomes a park, and that very well may be, hopefully not in my lifetime, but the long and short. But they would have control, and I believe even if they get that right away or whatever they want on ATV, snowmobile, that they'll be able to restrict, change as they often do, and we don't want to become like Utah, that 75 or 80% of the state is federal land have control of. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and, unless there's anybody else from the public that wants to address the council, I am, oh, yes. I've got somebody, holy council Pelletier. This,
And or 732. I just have a question because I don't know, but I believe that the Trust for Public Land bought 32,000 acres from whoever on the Huber Road and on the Roberts Road, and are in the process of gaining the money to turn that over to the all study. Now, in that, and you guys all read it in the paper, it says that will guarantee access to the park through the Huber Road, the Roberts Road, which goes out on the right out to the park. My question is, why do we need the rest of the Stacyville Road if that's where it is? Why do we need the rest of that, and why do they need to purchase more land if that's already going to work? And I actually have a lease that's not in that land, and it affects me quite a bit, but I don't see why we need. That's going to put more traffic on my place, which I understand that. I don't understand why we need two places. I don't know. Are you guys aware that that was already in the works?
I honestly, I can only speak for myself, but I was not.
So I'm just asking that question because it's well written in. I think he said Betsy, but actually she's the one that I had to pay the lease to.
Okay.
And all the emails I've gotten from them and everything in the paper said. I just wanted to let you guys know, maybe I'll look into that because it seems to me there's already
Okay.
work to have at.
I will look, yep, I know I'll look into it. Anyone else? Seeing none. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilor Dume.
Certainly, I'll try to keep it down to 2 minutes.
I
No, I'm serious. I had a lot of conversations lately. One was with the commissioner, and I agree with the commissioner, and I agree with our Representative Jabner and Senator Trey Stewart in their letter to Senator King, and they have conversations with Senator Collins as well on a pause, more investigation, more conversation. I think there needs to be a lot more communication involved. So I hope that this doesn't end with the impression that's out there in the community right now is that this council is anti-business, and that's what's being propagated out there. So for a group of people that hate supposedly misinformation, that's misinformation. That's slanderous and misinformation. I think this council is very pro-business. We've signed hundreds and hundreds of orders that support businesses in this community. This was a divisive situation from citizens, like Councilor Pelletier said, and Councilor Higgins already said. All of us have received numerous amounts of emails, messages, phone calls, visits. For me personally, it's probably 2 to 1. Of the thank yous and 30-40% of the I'm disappointed. So it's one of those things where it's a no-win situation for anybody on this council, because, and it's not a Republican Democrat, because I've had both on each side, Republican business owners, Democrat business owners. This is a local issue. It is not a designed divisive issue between Republicans and Democrats. So hopefully that it's taken off the and we can I am even open to a referendum if that's what it comes to. We have a November coming up in a presidential election. You're gonna get a lot of votes out there. So if the public does not agree with what the council's decision was, then certainly they can take action upon, there's a process to take action upon themselves. And I would encourage them to do so if you really don't believe in your government that much. So hopefully this reaches the ears of Senator King, Senator Collins. Take this community into consideration. Have these conversations with us, put this bill on pause, like the Commissioner Marshall said, and the letter said to them, and communicate with us. Have these conversations, conversate with us. Hopefully our communities conversate with us. Don't bash us and bully us and do these other things. You didn't like it when it was done to you. We don't like it when it's done to us. We're all friends and family in this community, and to have this divide us is foolish. There's some people that agree and disagree. It's too bad it's come to this. It's too bad it's come to this. But hopefully we can resolve it. Hopefully we can get together, sit at the same table. Nothing's gonna get done if we just bash each other. And that's my personal feelings, and I welcome conversations. Hopefully this reaches the ears to the powers that be.
Thank you. I have Anita Mueller on,
No, it's not a raised hand, that's the icon.
is that a?
That's my
is that a-
mouse.
It's a mouse.
Oh, that's your hand.
It's his
Okay,
mouse.
so I don't have one up there. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Councilor Pelletier and we're gonna wrap this up.
I certainly agree with everything Councilor DeMay just said. You know, I don't hold anybody's account, but so one issue, we deal with a lot of issues. But just to clarify, process that, Bruce, mentioned, subchapter 901 of, Article 9 of the charter, I spent the afternoon looking over, and what it states is, after a petition of 5 community members take out a petition, from there, they have 10 days to get 20% of the last gubernatorial election numbers and turn them in order to accomplish that, which is cumbersome, may not happen, you know, and that's why I informed you about T902, which is petition your council.
Okay,
In order.
thank you, Councilor. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up and let's say we get Councilor Danforth.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we did get a letter. So out of the letters that Councilor Pelletier referred to that we got in our inbox and by email, there was one that asked this to be read tonight if she wasn't able to be here. So I'm just following through with that request. And so Diana Furukawa sent this to us last Friday, July 5th. Please reconsider monument access. Hello, town councilors. I write to you today as a citizen and not in my role as the director of Millinocket Memorial Library. My opinions are my own and do not reflect the library. I'm reaching out to you to reconsider your vote against the Katahdin Woods and Waters National Monument Access Act. I understand that some of you may not have supported the original creation of the monument. I'm not here to debate you on that. You are entitled to your opinion. But the monument is here to stay. So the question today is, why not make sure that Millinocket benefits from it as much as possible? I initially didn't understand why the area needed another park like the monument. We have Baxter State Park after all. But over time, I've come to understand that while Baxter State Park is amazing, the monument has the potential to reach a whole new audience and bring them to our region. The fact that the monument is part of the national park system puts us on the map in a new way. But without easy access to the monument from the south, Millinocket will lose out on the benefits of these visitors and their dollars. A southern entrance will drive traffic through Millinocket, giving a much needed boost to local businesses like Katahdin General Store, the Sawmill Bar and Grill, and Moose Prince Gallery. This bill doesn't mean anyone will be forced to sell their land. It doesn't mean that locals will lose access to the lands where they hunt, fish, ATV, or snowmobile. It doesn't mean that logging operations can't continue on these roads. Supporting this bill is simply a practical investment in local businesses and the emerging outdoor recreation economy. If you're still on the fence, let me know what your questions and concerns are. Is it that you need more information? Do you need to hear from more of your constituents? I'm happy to talk with any of you more about this issue over the phone or in person. Sincerely, Diana Burokawa.
All right, so on that note, I am looking for a motion to adjourn.
So
Second.
Motion made by Council McGlone, second by Council Demay. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you all.
You would have. You would have Katie fighting. No. You would have. I'm like, wow, we're on. Well, it was good to let